So there's a lot of talk about how to articulate your unique genius, right? How to, with, conversion and making sense to the masses, while also capturing the actual depth of what you do. Like, this is $1 million question, right? Is how do we do this? And you see so many people really like talking about like ultra specific messaging and how to be really clear and how to just like, put that out there. And still, I'll see people's brands. I'll see brands that are, you know, they look good. Like they clearly had some professional shoots done. And their messaging is clear. Like I know what they do. I'm even seeing client results. I understand. I get it. I get the problem. I get the solution. I get it. And yet I'm like, okay. And the only time I'm buying from people like that is when I'm like really feeling low. Is when I'm feeling like, God, I can't figure this thing out. Can somebody just freaking solve this for me? Can somebody just come in and freaking fix this for me? And that's what draws me in with that kind of messaging, where it's clear, it's specific, I get it, but I don't feel her depth and I don't feel her essence and I don't feel her energy. I just feel I feel the problem. I feel the problem she solves. And so if I'm in a very like I have a problem kind of mode, I will buy it. And it's not that we don't want problem awareness. It's not that we don't solve problems. But if it's only hitting that, if it's only like, okay, it's clear what I do, this is the message, and this is your gap, and this is where we're going. If it's only that, and I don't feel the depth, and I don't feel your essence, and I don't understand what's truly here in what you as a unique individual, with your inherent medicine, your essence, like what's happening here. That's what separates the brands that can make some money from the brands who have a legacy, the brands who have massive impact. Because you can make a lot of money just with like a technically good brand and technically clear messaging. But if part of your soul is like, please let me out, please let me out. I have these gifts that need to be expressed in the world, and it's not coming through because you're scared it's going to be unclear, you're scared it's going to be, yeah, too confusing, too much, whatever, and then it's just not being expressed in your brand, then you're leaving a ton of money on the table, first of all, but also you're not bringing in the actual soulmate clients. I like to call them soulmate clients because really it's like that. It's like, oh, we were destined. We were destined to meet each other. This is a beautiful thing. And it's across industries, really. If you have any offers that are closer proximity that are offering some type of transformation, this is important. Like it's really important for you to be able to articulate the heart and the soul, to really put that out there. People underestimate this. My goodness. So, how do we do this, right? How do we bring forward, okay, there's clarity. I know what this person can do for me. I know why I would hire them. And also, I'm having like a deep feeling. I belong. I connect with this person. I feel something extraordinary. I'm not just feeling like the gap. I'm not just feeling maybe I'm feeling the gap, maybe I'm feeling the problem, but like it's secondary to something deeper that's pulling inside of me that knows I belong here, that my becoming is here, that a transformation is here. That's really beautiful. That's really important. And I just know so many people who are just multidimensional fairies, multidimensional trolls, multidimensional everything. And they they need to be felt. It's not just, okay, I have this super specific like intersection of things that I do, and that's gonna do it, that's gonna draw in the clients, and I gotta figure it out. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure, some of that. But how are you going to be felt? I'll tell you how. The energy with which you create affects the actual product, meaning the energy with which you write a post affects the post. The energy with which you make a video affects the reception of that video. Even if you say all the same words, even if you do the same things. And some of you might be saying, like, that's floof. That's just nonsense. I was actually speaking to one of my clients who has also got a neuroscience degree. And she told me, she said, this is because of mirror neurons. She's like, it's not just energetic woo-woo. There's real neuroscience here. And I was like, oh my God, tell me more. And she said that we have these things called mirror neurons that when we're growing up, especially, this is how we learn how to be a human, basically. We our our neurons are like firing to mirror the state of people around us and what they're experiencing and what they're doing, and we're like taking that on. I mean, she could probably explain this a lot better than me, right? But she said basically, when you're interacting with even online with people, with the written word, yes, even more strongly if you see them or hear them, right? But no matter what, it's like your mirror neurons are actually firing. So the state of being that they are in when they create that affects the state of being that you experience when you consume it. So quite literally has an impact on the state of being. And it might just be a fleeting thing, no big deal. Your state of being shifted a little bit. That's why when we just scroll and consume and consume and consume, it's like wackadoo for our systems, right? But you're actually like mirroring their state to a certain degree. Like it's kind of like a mini thing, but it's happening. And so when you read a post and it makes you feel, oh God, I gotta fix this. Oh God. I bet you when the person wrote that, they were thinking, God, how do I just get this point across? I just need to be clear. How do I get people to buy? All right, what's the problem? The states mirror each other. But when you're in this very expansive state, when you are actually embodying the transformation you offer, the medicine that you offer, and you're fully in that energy, people can feel you. And this is why I always talk about it's so important to have a practice where you shift your energetic state. It's so important to have a practice where you can say, I'm my highest self right now. Like I physically I can shift the state of being I'm in. And this isn't about, bypassing or ignoring like what I have, the way that I do this, the way that I've developed this is it's not meant to be perfect because I feel that what I'm doing for myself and for my clients is a it's kind of like an exercise that is helping me evolve while also helping me create at a higher level. And so it is existing within this larger context of my becoming, of my willingness to meet my depth, my shadows, of my willingness to show up for the tough sensations and hold steady, my willingness to show up for my business and my people, even when it's hard. So it works within this larger context. But the smaller context matters too, those little moments of having an actual energetic practice that can remind you of what's already there because you're already your highest self. You're already in the energetic state of being that is at one with the clients you're meant to serve exists within you. It does. It's there. It's there right now. There's nothing about you that needs to be like fixed or different or changed. You're like, you don't have to go on like a huge long journey. you can access this. You can access this inside of your being. That doesn't mean you never have a meltdown again. That doesn't mean you never have a hard day again. It means that you have a practice for shifting your state so that you show up from a place of service and so that your medicine is actually felt in what you write. Of course, this is only part of the picture. There's other witchy tools I like to bring into play, by the way, like psychically tuning into your audience, your clients, feeling them, feeling desire, feeling where they need to be met, where they need to be seen so that you can serve them more deeply. Like these things are important too. The other really key aspect here to actual good messaging and actual good positioning is your own freaking expression. If you can't just say the damn thing, if you can't just actually express your truth to the world, your messaging is always going to be lacking. Like, no matter what, no matter how perfect you make it. And I see this a lot with people too, where they have covert hidden gifts, but they have this like childhood wounding and or ancestral wounding that tells them it's not safe to own those gifts. It's not safe to share those gifts. And when that is happening, their messaging and positioning is always gonna be lacking. And maybe they make a lot of money. And like the thing is, you can make a lot of money under a multitude of circumstances. You certainly don't need to be in like beautiful energetic alignment. So if that's the only goal, like you can make it happen like a million different ways, right? But if the goal is I want to make money, yes, I want to be wealthy, yes, but also I want to serve my soulmate clients. I want to be deeply satisfied. I want to be in my fullest expression. I want to be in the I want to presently be and be in the becoming of my highest self at the exact same time. The shedding and the rebirth and the beauty and the expression and the blooming and all of it, the cycles all happening, embracing the highs and lows of that while also knowing that right here, right now, you already are her and you can access that. You want to live like that. You want to live a business that you love, that actually fills you up in every sense of the word. Deeper connections, more love, more belonging, more expansion, more art, more beauty, more money, more all of it, right? So when you want to do it that way, when that's what you're after, then you've got to be expressed. You can master the perfect messaging. You can find the perfect, this is how it, this is like the specific thing that I do in this way. But if underneath that you got like a full-blown like witch shit trying to come through, and by witch shit, I just mean like usually the gifts that people, I say that because the gifts that people usually don't feel safe expressing are more like magical by nature, normally. Like they're weird, they're odd, it's stuff that's like a little off the wall. Maybe you're doing it kind of secretly behind the scenes with your clients. You're like, well, actually, I mean, all of my ads get a way bigger return on ad spend because I just have like total psychic insight into exactly what's going to make everyone click and hit buy. Like if you've got something like that happening behind the scenes and you're afraid to express it, you're afraid to bring that forward on some level or ashamed to or whatever, and it might just be, like I said, ancestral, it could be subconscious. But if that's not being fully expressed, your messaging and positioning is always going to be lacking. It doesn't matter how much you mull it over in your head and try to find the perfect fucking words and try to like build a brand or whatever because you haven't met yourself yet. You haven't met your essence, you haven't met your depth, you haven't embraced it fully. So how can you build a very magnetic brand that gives you, I mean, you can, like I said, you can make money. But how are you going to build one that brings you that life if you're not fully expressed? Right? So that's what needs to happen. It's like it's like this combination, really, of opening the heart and the throat out through the tongue, out into the world, opening this, but also because you've been willing to go in and meet the depth and meet yourself, shadows and all, and meet your own desires. And you're willing to have an energetic practice. You know that the energy with which you do something, the energy with which you take an action, changes the thing itself. It changes it, the quality of it is different. I could be here saying all of these words and it could be a script that somebody else handed me and it wouldn't be the same. Even if I was a fabulous actress, which I'm not. I used to pursue acting, by the way. But the point is, a lot of like it sounds ridiculous, like being an actor reading a script, but a lot of you out here are writing your content, writing your email list, writing people in your audience, and in whilst in a state of being where like, is this gonna get them to buy? Is this gonna land? Is this what they need? How do I hit it perfectly? Am I hitting it? Are they getting it? Are they getting it? Are they getting it? So it's actually not that different than just reading off somebody else's words. Of course, you need to be connected to your audience. You need to know what they do and do not know about your solution, about your value that you provide. Like, don't use language they don't understand, right? Like, don't say super fluffy, vague things. Also, I just have to say, when people are so stuck on talking about their work in a super fluffy, vague way, it's a deeper issue, like 99.9% of the time. Like, people want to act like they can just teach messaging. Like, oh, just speak more tangibly, just speak more specifically. It's not freaking rocket science, you guys. Day to day, people tell stories in a really specific way. They talk about what happened in their life, what things were, what happened, what they are now. And yes, there does need to be that moment of learning, that moment of like, oh, when I speak about my offer, I can't just say super vague, fluffy things like self-love and empowerment. I need to actually talk about real people in real life situations and tell actual stories so that people can connect to it. And it's not just like a poster on the wall saying, feel better and empowered and love. Like, yes, of course. Of course, there is that piece of like the very, very basic of actually connecting with another human being, which can feel unnatural. Fair enough. Online, it can feel unnatural to feel like you're talking to an actual human being. But you are. You're talking to actual human beings. So talk to them like you're an actual. You wouldn't sit down at lunch with your friend and be like, only t maybe you would only be talking in like vague conceptual terms. But for the most part, people connect because it makes sense. It's intimate. It's real. It's just actual 3D people's places, things, and scenarios that they can connect with. But the length of time that it takes to learn that you need that in your marketing is the length of time it just took me to say that to you. What was that? Like 3, 4 minutes? If that? That's how long it takes. Now you know that. Now you have that piece of information. Why is that not enough? Because it's something deeper. People speak in vague, fluffy terms, not just because they don't know that that's not good marketing. Yeah, that's part of it, but plenty of them do know that it's not good marketing and they still do it. And I've been one of those people. Why? Because they don't want to lose the heart, but they don't know how to claim the heart and the soul of it while connecting with their people because it's scary. Because it demands a higher level from them. It demands more liberated expression. It demands audacity. It demands putting yourself out there. It demands owning your gifts and speaking to what they can do in the highest possible outcome, which inevitably opens the door for you to disappoint people, for people to judge you, for people to say, no, that's not good. That's wrong, right? You're playing at another level when you do that. So it's not just learning a skill. It's all of the things inside of your field right now that are saying, oh, but I want everyone to like me, or I want people to get me and understand me. And what if they're going to misunderstand? And, blah, 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 blah. So you just fall back into vague terms that are like recognizable, but don't actually say anything. And that will always keep you small. That will always keep you small. And 99.9% of the time, that is the problem. It's a deeper issue. It's go hire as many messaging experts as you want. If they can't actually meet you there, if they can't actually meet you in the shadows of the shame and the fear and the various like ancestral wounds that are holding this back, if they can't actually see you there and see your inherent medicine and they just keep telling you, make it more specific, make it more specific. Look, I've tried that. It doesn't work. It does not work. You're going to be banging your head against a wall, or you'll do it, you'll try it, and you'll be like, oh my God, this doesn't feel like me. It doesn't feel like me. And you won't like it very much. And maybe you'll kind of do it and it's fine and it can just be your business and it can just do what it does for you and it can just be fine. But you'll hit a ceiling doing it that way. And your soul will be like, but I want more. I want this life. I want this life where I feel so alive and on fire and I want to live by the beach and I want to be free and I want to, and you having those visions for a reason. And the key is the thing that hasn't been expressed inside of you yet. That's the key. So that's what comes next. That's the real work. And that is what we do inside of my mentorship. That's why I'm a guide. Because it isn't just about teaching you things, okay? It's about what's your truest essence and how can we bring harmony to whatever lies are telling you you can't be fully an expression of that right here, right now. And all of that beauty and all of those dreams, it comes from that. It comes from what your soul is here to do and be and express in the world. And that is the most beautiful thing that you actually get to trust your soul, what your soul craves and wants. That's what you came here to do. So don't settle. Don't freaking settle. You can do so much better. Let's freaking go. Thanks for listening.